Myles Garrett is generational, and you expect to be generational for at least another year or two. I think they got quite a bit better at that one spot, and it's one of the most important spots in the entire field.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're the 49ers and you were playing the Rams tomorrow, you already could argue, like, we had a little bit of a problem before they got Myles Garrett.
Yeah. Wouldn't be like the Niners acquiring Myles Garrett, which would take a below-average defensive line to maybe the best defensive line in the NFL with Garrett and Bosa.
So as a 49er fan, how'd this land? How'd this land?
I don't know if pissed me off is right. It frustrated me because the Rams got better.
Okay.
And they already were really, really good. Probably the best team in football already, in my estimation.
I guess the first question,
and they get the best defender in football.
Right. So, like, I get the first question, though, is did you feel like the Niners should have done that?
I don't know if the Niners could have done that.
Well, fair.
If it would have taken a young defensive lineman and 1 first-round pick, 1 second-round pick, and 1 third-round pick, yeah. But the Browns are not taking one of the Niners' young defensive linemen and the trade being equal, because Jared Verse, the young defensive lineman the Rams gave up, one of the better young defensive linemen in football.
Okay, so what if, because also what the Rams did give up, just so that we're all clear on compensation, is they gave up Jared Verse, very good young pass rusher, a 1 next year, a 2 the year after that, and a 3 the year after that. So never did they give up 2 picks in the same draft. Mm-hmm. So 27-1, a 28-2, and a 29-3.
Valuable picks, but yeah.
For sure.
Spaced out.
Let's say the Niners went Myles Williams, next year's 1, and a 1 the year after that as well. That's something the Browns might have looked at.
I would consider it.
Would you have done that?
I would have considered that, and I might have been willing to pull the trigger. I wouldn't have done it for 3, and I would think it probably would have taken 3 first-round picks because the Rams, the Browns probably value Jared Verse highly enough to where he's worth more than just 1 first-round pick.
Now, also, run this because here's my take. It's very easy to hop on your phone and rip John Lynch for not doing this. But I want all of the ramifications to be clear. Uh-huh. So it is.
Ramifications.
Yep. Well, they're not Seahawkifications.
Was that purposeful?
It was not.
That was funny. I liked it.
Does our radio station do we do too many puns? I feel like somewhere today Joe Spadoni's like, that was a banger. Like, do we do too many? Are there too many puns?
I feel like you paused for a second. I thought it was purposeful. That was good.
I paused because I was going to be like, ramification sensation. Like, is it too much? Hey, thank you. Is it too much? Is it too much?
No.
Nope.
Are you sure? Our station wants more women to listen, right? Women don't like dad jokes. They don't. Believe me. If I'd been like with the lovely Christy and I'm like, ramifications.
Am I right?
She'd have been like, oh, God.
Elbowed you?
Don't do that. Are you going to do more of that as we get older? I'm like, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know my dad. That's how it works.
I think there's a correlation between age and dad jokes.
You know what that is?
It's a correlation sensation. Am I right?
Get him, Pasta. Anyway.
I don't think I have a buck on me. The text line is talking about I would have traded Nick Bosa and a first-round pick. The Browns not doing that.
They're not doing that. See, so here look, sorry about the ramification joke, but here,
Jared Verse has more value than Nick Bosa. That's just how and specifically a team in the Brown situation looks at it.
Remember, that's not because they think Verse is necessarily better than Bosa, but he is significantly way cheaper.
And younger and not injured currently.
So keep that. It's not just what the Niners have done. Myles Williams and at least 2 first-rounders. Now tell me, when you fit Myles Garrett's deal into the Niners cap, what happens next season as Brock Purdy's deal starts to balloon and a lot of other deals that have already been signed, Kittle, Warner, all of this stuff, like you're getting rid of people now too. You're getting rid of players. And maybe you're okay with that.
Yeah.
But that's what the Niners would have had to do to get into this conversation. And I think that's crazy.
Three first-round picks. Yeah, I mean, how old is Myles Garrett at this point? Is he 30?
He's probably 30, 31 is my sense.
He's on the back half of his career. He's 30. He'll be 31 towards the end of this season.
Yeah.
He was the best player in football, put together one of the best seasons a defensive player has ever had. this past year. So the Rams are going all in. They're trying to win now, and they should at their point. I think the reality for Niner fans, and this might frustrate some Niner fans considering you have an aging Kittle, you have an aging Warner, you have an aging Bosa, you have an aging McCaffrey. The Niners are not in the incredibly desperate position that the Rams find themselves in, and desperate can mean a bad thing, but for the Rams, I think it's ultimately a good thing as well because they're very, very good, and they're very, very good right now. But their quarterback is one that, who knows, this might be his last year. The Niners have a quarterback that they hope is their quarterback for the next decade.
That's the point.
So you don't feel an incredible amount of pressure to do everything possible to win right now, although we might want them to because you do have some aging, really good players on this roster.
Who wouldn't love to have the guy?
But the quarterback is, the most important position, and if you are looking at having an extremely veteran and very good quarterback with your backup option being Ty Simpson currently, they obviously liked him enough to draft him, or at least some people in their front office did. But you feel like, okay, if we don't win this year or next year, we might not have a chance again for a long time.
I've seen a lot of people suggest that this helps explain why the Rams grabbed Ty Simpson. And people go, whoa, what does that mean? Well, the Rams knew that they didn't have next year's first-round pick.
So they needed to get their quarterback now.
They knew about this deal. They knew about this deal 2 months ago.
The NFL, there was a major hint when the Browns kicked back the deadline date for the money to kick in for Myles Garrett. When that got kicked in from March or whenever it was to June, that was a hint that they were going to trade him. So teams knew. Teams had an idea. I'm sure the Niners called. I'm sure the Niners were in conversations.
Sure.
Who knows how deep they got? Probably not terribly deep.
Far,
would be my guess. But teams around the league knew.
Yes.
So this was going to happen, or a very good chance it was going to happen for a while.
Yep. So the Rams knew that they did not have a first-round pick next year. Next year is, in theory, the year that they would need to get a quarterback in order to replace Matthew Stafford. I don't want Kelly mad at me. But that's why they had to do it now, or that's why they felt like they wanted to do it now and give the kid a year to learn under Stafford. And then go from there. But I think you're touching on at least reason. It's not all of the reasons, but it's reason number one why this kind of makes more sense for the Rams right now than it does the 49ers. I get that it's a gut punch. There's no way around that.
I mean, the two best teams in football are in your division.
Yes, they are. And you're
not bad, but it feels like you got a mountain to climb.
And they're both built around their defensive line. And when we watch the 49ers, the one thing that I did, it's a very fair, I can't say criticism yet because let's watch them play, but it's a very fair concern to say, I don't feel confident in what I'm looking at right now with the offensive line. It feels a lot like the Giants bullpen, where you're like, okay, you can tell me all offseason, well, this guy's going to do that and that guy's going to do this. And I'm like, well, it feels like there's a lot of question marks in there.
A lot has to go right for it to be, you feel like a positive offensive line.
And maybe that's not fair because I do think the Niners like both of their tackles. One of them is headed for the Hall of Fame. The other one, I think, is a very underrated player. But a lot of what's happening in between those tackles is just a big question mark.
Specifically left guard.
Yeah.
You don't know who's going to play there.
So, and now,
Shanahan loves the center. I don't think anyone else does.
But that's what you're looking at. Well, Brock Purdy loves him. They went to a Giants game together a couple of weeks ago.
Brock.
Anyway, what? They're not allowed to be friends?
No, they're allowed to be friends. Okay. But of course, Brock isn't going to say anything bad about any one of his offensive linemen.
It's just funny because the cameras panned up to the suite, and it was Brock Purdy and Jake Brendel, and the camera just focuses on both of them. And the crowd's like, yeah! And the Giants just put it up on the screen, and they're like, it's Brock Purdy.
No one cares about Brendel.
What you probably should have done is tell us who is the other guy. We all knew that was Brock Purdy. Who's the bearded dude next to him?
You're just going to have Myles Garrett and Leonard Williams and all these stars chasing around Brock Purdy 4 games next year.
It feels like not just the 2 best teams in football. It feels like the 2 best defensive lines in football. And so, yeah, I'm not...
It's really terrifying.
What if I threw this at you, though? How would you describe how different the Rams are just next year versus to Garrett?
They got better at one position.
Significantly?
I think pretty significantly. I mean, Verse is good. Like, and a good young player.
Very good.
He was much better as a rookie than he was this past year, but he was still good last year, and you expect him to continue to improve. He was really good. Myles Garrett is generational, and you expect to be generational for at least another year or two. At least. Maybe even more than that. Maybe he's so special, he might do it for 4 more years. We'll find out.
He's great.
But I think they got quite a bit better at that one spot, and it's one of the most important spots in the entire field.
I can't argue with it's one of the most important spots. I guess
a position of strength became the best spot in the NFL at that spot.
That's fair.
But they were already good there.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're the 49ers and you were playing the Rams tomorrow, you already could argue, like, we had a little bit of a problem before they got Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
So now
it wouldn't be like the Niners acquiring Myles Garrett, which would take a below average defensive line to maybe the best defensive line in the NFL with Garrett and Bosa. Like, that would be a major jump.
Could be. Yes. Right. So, like, I guess that was my reaction to it. If somebody comes up to you at your office today and they're like, whew, the Rams are a problem, my answer might be they already were. They became more of a problem. I guess. I know they beat them in LA this past year, but like, the Niners already were going to have their problems with that team. Yes, they were. As the rest of the league will.
They have the reigning MVP, Matthew Stafford.
38.
They have the reigning defensive player of the year in Myles Garrett.
Mm-hmm.
They have, for my money, the best wide receiver in the NFL in Puka Nacua. I know, a strange offseason.
Provided that he gets through rehab, yes.
They have...
No, I'm not kidding. That's where he has spent the majority of the offseason.
They have the best red zone wide receiver in the NFL in Devontae Adams. They got Trent McDuffie from the Chiefs this offseason as well.
They're fantastic.
They have stars everywhere.
They are a problem.
And that's not even mentioning the reigning Super Bowl champs.
Right.
Who are, at least in my mind, your number one rival, the team that I hate more than anybody else in the NFL.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of how I look at it. It's like, I don't know, today feels like getting a parking ticket if you're already late on rent. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't have the money for the parking ticket. It's like, well, it sounds like money was already a problem. And now it got worse, and maybe parking ticket is underselling it a little bit, you know?
He's amazing.
It's like rent getting...
He just broke the sack record.
It's like rent getting raised when you were already late. That's kind of how I feel about it.